I want to talk about a former Celtic, Mr. Kyrie Irving, which I don't know how you felt about just his game, but it seemed like he was as timid as I've seen him in a long time, right? The story of Kyrie in these playoffs is he's the jolt of energy, whether it's I'm going to make an imprint in the third quarter by my points and I'm just going to play shutdown defense the rest of the game, right? Or I'm just going to, when Luka's not doing well, I'm going to score when I need to score. I need to do these things, right? But this one, it seemed like he wasn't as decisive as he's been throughout these playoffs. It seemed like he was playing really nervous. And that was really weird to see, considering he's probably the one with the most postseason experience on the floor, right? And I saw a lot of just dribbling off the foot, just, throwing to the stands. It looked like something was in his head. What did you see from Kyrie Irving in Boston in game one?
Well, he looked sped up. I mean, he looked like, he looked sped up. He looked rushed. He looked like he was pressing a little bit. And, that was a very hostile environment he was in. And I know he's been back to Boston before and they've never, they've never really celebrated his return to Boston. But this is a different animal in the finals, right? And, they were giving him the business. I think as I've kind of thought about it, I thought he handled it well in the press post game with just like put some perspective on it, so on and so forth. But what honestly I think happened was he had predetermined that he was going to try to play it so cool, like that. And this is going to sound crazy, and I don't even know if it makes sense to you, but he was trying so hard to be cool and icy under the circumstances that it made him nervous. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, and I know that sounds crazy, but like when you're planning for anything like that and you've got this, here's how it's going to handle, like that promotes nerves. Like when you're just like, yo, I'm just going to let it flow. I don't really like, fuck it. We're just going to do it. Then you can be your organic self. But I think he had prepared emotionally and mentally in a way that it might have backfired, is the best way I could put it.
Do you think that he should have had the because I remember you were in this series when the Kobe, like, I'm going to go back to Philly and cut their hearts out energy, or like what energy you think would have been required for the first game going into this series?
I think that if you're going to take any approach to it other than like just hey bro, we're just coming here to hoop, it's the finals, like, but I've been here before, I'm just going to get to cooking. I think if you're going to take either the like, yo, I'm going to play this really cool, I'm going to play this really like reserved, or you're going to be like, yo, I'm coming here for hearts, then you go with the latter.
Yeah, every time.
I'm going to come here and be an assassin, bro. I'm going to use this energy to be like, F you. I might throw the finger at somebody in here.
I had an over-under. I had an over-under that it was going to probably like 3 middle fingers.
Like we're going to look, I'm not going to pretend that I'm not the villain, dog. Like, cause that's fake. I am the villain. I know that. You know that. But let me show you what the villain does though. Like, and so I think he needs to find that energy. Like,
it was even weird because like the crowd didn't even know what to do with it, right? Like they were like, "Oh, we're coming to boo," but then it was like, "You're kind of nice to us now." I don't even think Boston knew what the fuck to do with it. I didn't even know if they didn't even know what to do with the energy.
Now I'm like, I mean, now everyone operates differently emotionally in situations, so there's no predictor or indicator that would tell you how you react versus me in that hostility. I've seen Kyrie, and maybe it's that like the role that he plays on that team is more of the elder statesman. Hey guys, we're fine. Let's keep some perspective. Like, and that's the space that he operates relative to the Mavericks. But I've seen him operate in FU mode, assassin mode, and that's scary if he can find his bag in that space. So I would say maybe like let's compartmentalize for this series and say, look, especially when we're on the road, that's who I am. Like at home, I can be chill and whatever, but when we're on this road, guys, somebody else pick up the slack for me and like calm rationality, because I'm about to flip into just whatever superhero you want to call me.
Well, the thing that when it was most needed, I think, was in that third quarter, right? Because Luka starts cooking. Like
he could have got some help.
Yeah, we were in the. There's a we got to get you out to the Spotify offices, buddy. There's a
like
big
that.
theater that we were watching the game in. I'll send pictures when I come back on Sunday for you.
Mhm.
But we're watching it, and we had Isaiah Blakely, who's from Boston, and he's a big Celtics fan. He's a producer here at the Ringer, and we were all in the theater, and when Luka started cooking, he started sweating. He was like, "Oh fuck!" When they got it to like 8, when the Mavs got it down to 8. I thought the Mavs were going to win the game. Just from like, not only just what the Mavs have done all the postseason, just like how much lemon booty the Boston Celtics have in moments like this, historically speaking, right?
Yep.
But to tie it all the way back around, what the Mavericks needed was Kyrie to take that baton and be like, oh, okay, I found my jumper, right? But he was clanking in that. I think he was the run stopper for his own team in a lot of ways, because he was just so nice and just so diplomatic and like, I'm happy to be here. I'm here to give my, the Kyrie-isms. We all know the Kyrie-isms, the sage, the incense.
Sure.
It was all there, right? They didn't need that at that point. They needed the other bag to take the baton.
Needed
I think
the
if he would
villain.
have took the baton, I think the Mavs would have had a good shot of winning after that third quarter if he goes and finds his game and is more aggressive.
Well, to that, I was watching like everyone else, and like, here come the Mavs. And I had said it at half. I was like, this is going to be really interesting to see how they come out in the third quarter, because this is classic kind of for both teams through like the Celtics lens. That's not always a good place for them to run away and start like that, because sometimes they fall asleep at the wheel.
It was a normal Celtics game where they go up really big, then they're somehow still nervous, and then a run happens.
And from the Mavs, like, they've had to just keep clawing and keep fighting and keep working and find a way to come back and win games. So like, this is familiar territory for both teams. And so when it got to 8, I was waiting for that. I think it was 8 when Joe might have called the timeout, and then right when they came out,
great timeout by Joe. He's been coaching his ass off.
Right when they came out, I said to my wife, like, they missed a shot, and it might have been Kyrie. And I said to her, there were probably 2 minutes left in the quarter. And I looked over, I bring her in here to tell you, I said, this is going to be 17 or 18 at the end of the quarter. I was like, it's crazy because Boston's going to be up by 17 or 18 at the end of the quarter. And then it was bop, bop, bop. And she looked over and she said, you just called that. And I said, yeah, because he can't get
Ain't that fire
there's
when
no
you
help.
call it, though? When you call it, you just be like, it comes true.
Yeah, I mean, especially around the wife, right? Like, that's a good look. But no, the point was, and why I called it was that he just didn't have the help. You could see that there weren't going to be enough shot makers around him, Luka that is, to like help. You can't erase that individually. Your guys got to be with you, and they didn't have another guy with them.
Well, the thing is, though, and we've seen this throughout the playoffs, and that's the gift and the curse of having 2 high-octane level scorers and building your offense specifically around those types of scorers, is the ebbs and flows just kind of happen, right? The swings kind of happen. And the second part to that is the Mavericks have a lot of role players to where they follow the lead of what Luka and Kyrie do. So if they see, that was the biggest thing about Kyrie and why he should have the killer instinct. And I think I'd expect him to have that in game 2. But when he has that killer instinct, you see the PJ Washington start, getting a little looser, right? Start strutting their shit, right? Doing the
PJ came to play though.
No. But what I'm saying is, and he was just one example, right? But then you see the Derrick Jones and the Liveleys, you see them kind of just have a bit more pep in their step when they see their leaders have that. I expect more of a swagger from the top 2 guys of the Mavericks in game 2. There wasn't a swagger. It was more of the swagger. I think Luka tried to get it in some spurts. I think in the first half, he looked at the bench, I think after a 3-pointer. But it was more, I'm trying to keep us above water type of thing. I'm just trying to keep us at bay type of swagger. They need to just have one of those like, okay, we're coming. We're going to go fucking steal this shit.
Yeah, well, you have to, the first step to that is coming out of the gates and punching your opponent in the face before he can punch you in the face. And they got punched in the face.
Because the thing is, though, when the Celtics get punched in the face, they don't necessarily get up.
Well, I mean, in any case, whether you have a team like that or not, like you to have that swag, you can't run into the blender that you ran into as a Boston team the way they did last night. Like, Boston had them in that second quarter in a blender. Like, they were just chewing them up. When you emotionally are out of there on that court, no matter if I'm game or not, and I find myself in a 5-minute stretch of having no answer for what you're doing, no matter what type of effort I put forth, no matter how many extra closeouts I make, you're making another pass and that shit's in the basket, it just drains you. Like, so, to have swag, you can't be in that spot. So what you have to do is make sure that you're tighten up. Like, Boston can't be getting 2 and 3 possessions to start the game on Derek White missed threes. Like, he missed a few threes, but then Al Horford's just beating us to the ball and tapping it back out. And now we're getting another look at it. Like, it suggests that they have a better energy level and they're going to beat us to the ball over and over again. They're more locked in. That's not going to end well. Like, if that's happening in the first quarter.
What did you think of Dallas's young front court in the first game?
They were okay. Like, I thought the physicality got to lively a little bit.
Also, I think Jason Kidd should have took him out. After that third or fourth foul, he should have took him out. I don't think that, because he got 3 straight fouls in like a 4-minute span.
Yeah, I think he had a little like fry out moment. Like, those all look different. Like, it doesn't mean you have to like have a meltdown and start like throwing a fit, but understanding time and score and how many you have, like, I thought he lost a little bit of composure there, but I could make that argument too for Jason Kidd getting him off. I thought they were okay. What happens to them is, why I always suggest trying to like make that best player beat you, is when those auxiliary pieces aren't scoring, they don't have the same effect. Like, their ability to defend is great and their ability to rebound is great. Like, when they become excellent is when you add in the 12 to 15 or the 25 to 27 that you get cumulatively from like lobs and shit like that. And so when Boston's able to negate that, they're just good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they were good, but they didn't hurt you because, for whatever reason, your defensive, strategy kind of negated their ability to affect the game as its complementary piece offensively.